Hello, I'm Kevin Bell from Fossickers and Snake River Products. We have had multiple calls, several dozen calls on our Pyramid Pro Pan product that was recently tested by Dan Hurd, and he's in British Columbia. And I just need to say that Dan was completely wrong. I looked at the video. He completely, he incorrectly used the product, and there was a misrepresentation of not only how the machine, how the product works, but its gold retention, and I need to set things right. So I'm here doing this video today kind of to show you what he did wrong and how you do it right. So I'm just going to take a few minutes. Again, this is the Pyramid Pro Pan. You can see these stainless steel riffles. He was using them to try to hold back the material in the gold. What I tell you is there is nothing about these stainless steel riffles that has to do with gold retention. These riffles are used to break up the material and to take the clay off of your rocks and your cobble, and it breaks everything down more completely. It also allows for the unclassified materials to be run. So his notion that he was using this to stop the gold was completely incorrect. It was solely for breakup of the materials. So I'm going to go ahead and put some material in the pan, and I'm going to show you kind of what he did wrong, and I'm going to show you the right way to do it. So with that, let me get some material. By the way, we're in the Yuba River today, and this is all stream side material, so no classification. So as you see, I've got the material in the sluice. If you want to pull out any big rocks, you can do that. But what you do is, the way we do it, he had the pan up like this. He would dunk it in the water, and then he would slosh it around like this. Okay? The problem with that is, because it's out of the water and you're just sloshing the water that's inside the pan, it was sloshing the material and the gold out. The way you do it correctly is you actually have the pan underneath the surface of the water, and you stratify the material by a quick side-to-side motion like this. This is how you stratify the material. In order to remove the material, you take longer strokes like this. Stratify, get rid of the material. You do it in layers. So, have big rocks like this, just pull them out, keep stratifying. Okay, stratify, remove the material. Stratify, remove the material. So as you see, you know, we can actually move this down, or we can actually just, you know, go ahead and put some more material in. So either way. So the goal is that you get it down to the pre-mix chamber. Another thing that he was doing, he was trying to take the material off and kind of do this kind of a thing, holding the pan and running the material. All that's doing is pouring the material out of the pan. So the way we do this, how you get the material down is you continue to stratify and the long strokes to remove the material. And you're doing it again, as I said, in layers. And as you can see, I'm down to the pre-mix chamber, which is where you'd want to take it to either fill it back up again, or in the case, we can put it into a pan. So you just, you know, put the material in, and there's your material. So very quickly, you know, you've got, you know, your concentrates, Your goal with the propane is to build concentrates. The reason why it's a propan, although we can, you know, pan things down, and there's a piece of gold right there. I just was grabbing, there's actually some really fine gold here. But, you know, our goal, you can see several super fine pieces, and then there's some pieces of gold right here. Another one up here, and some up on this line here of all super fine gold. So what I was trying to say is the production pan is used as a breakdown device. The primary goal, why is it a production pan? By the way, Fossickers coined the term production pan. We were the first. And what you're doing is you're using it as a concentrator. You're putting buckets of material through it. You're concentrating the materials down to your concentrates. You pour them in a bucket and you keep working. So you can go through 20, 30, 40 buckets a day just like you can through a sluice through this product. Why? Because it's a concentrator. So, you know, Dan was trying to use it as a thing where you can break it down to your super concentrates. And he was correct in doing that. But the reality of the situation is you only break it down to what I call concentrates, not super cons, down to black sand. Break it down to concentrates, put it in a bucket, and you can work that material over and over very quickly. And your goal is to go home with a 3-gallon bucket full of super cons. So, or you could put that back down into the pan at the end of the day and break it down further, and then go home with super cons. So that's really up to you. But I wanted to say the Pyramid Propan is always used just under the surface of the water. It's not up out of the water like this. You don't slosh the water around with the pan out of the water. You do not tilt it and try to do some panning motion off of the riffles. None of that is correct. And that is how Dan Hurd lost gold, because he used the product improperly to stratify and, to separate. And he was also, as he was trying to get down to his super concentrates, running it off the side riffles. The tub he used was way too small. He knew that, and the problem is he was trying to use the product in that small tub in an inappropriate way instead of taking it down to the river. You need plenty of room for a propan. You can do it in a large tub. You're not going to do it in a small tub. So just understand that. Anyway, I hope everybody understands. Again, no hard feelings to Dan, but he was wrong. And I hope he calls us and apologizes. But anyway, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you.